Ed Sheeran and Camera.
The school run. The school run.
Now, for the school run, I'm still joined with our social media and technology expert, James Erskine. And now, combining it with school runners, I'm joined on the line with Tom Williams. He's the founder of VoxBlock. You can get more details on the website, voxblock.co.uk. Quite something this. They're a screen-free audiobook system that supports children's literacy, and they recently won in the education technology category at the Innovation Excellence Awards 2025. Tom, pleasure to have you on BBC Radio London, and of course, congratulations on the award as well.
Hi, Shay. Thanks very much.
How did you feel to win, firstly?
It was fantastic. We've been working long and hard on this, and we've received some awards in the past before, and this was a big one, and it really made us feel fantastic to be recognised for what we're doing.
Why would you say then that audio is so important to the development of children?
Listening supports reading. If you hear a word, you understand that word, you know the context in which it's used, you understand a lot of things through listening to the language around you. And through that understanding, that naturally leads into reading. So they both go hand in hand.
It's quite interesting because I come at this from the angle that my daughter is neurodivergent, she's dyslexic. So actually we found reading to her to be a really important part of her literacy journey. But what have parents been saying to you when their children are using your product then? Because as I said earlier, it's completely screen free. There's no, internet involved at all.
I think the number one thing that comes across is the simplicity. Parents really appreciate the fact that it's not connected to the Wi-Fi. There's no setup. There's no downloading. You just take one of our blocks and you put it in the player and off they go. And the parents say to us that they really like that. They can see their child using it independently. And also importantly, they're not having to worry about what else the child is doing on this device. It's purely for listening to stories, and it allows children to be independent.
With that in mind, I know the other side of this, I was looking at your website, is the fact that many primary schools have really, really enjoyed this product as well. But how long do you think audiobooks should be a part of a children's life?
Until well into adulthood. I mean, audiobooks are such a fantastic way of accessing stories. It's particularly effective for young children in terms of developing their literacy, but audiobooks are a big part of my life. So I don't think there is an upper age limit to it. One of the things that we've seen with schools is we didn't set out to originally make this an ed tech for schools, but it was really teachers coming across us as parents and realizing how effective it could be in classrooms without that need to connect to the school Wi-Fi, without having to worry about GDPR issues, and all of the things that we later learned were really important to schools.
James, you've been listening to what Tom's talking about. You're a dad yourself. How important has this been? Because, and by the way, you're the social media and technology expert, so I would have thought you'd say no more technology. But what do you think about this?
What I love about this is that this is a huge technological advancement that is eschewing lots of the modern trappings of technology.
Okay.
And I think in the same way we might start to see a backlash towards some AI elements, we'll start to see this is a backlash against screens. And I think, therefore, it's refining the technology in such an innovative way. I use a product called a Remarkable, which is a tablet that you can only write on, and it stores all your notes on that tablet.
Amazing.
And it's a great way to keep that a pure experience, and that's what I think Tom is onto a real winner with this, because it's purely for one focus and one use, and that's why I think it's brilliant. I was just wondering whether Tom actually ever, in the incarnations of what the product might look like, whether you ever thought, could a screen work? Did you ever flirt with the idea of making it look more futuristic, Tom?
No, and it's remained remarkably true to the basic wooden prototype that we made when we first started this. And for us, the real importance is the story sitting on top of the player, allowing the child to see the cover of the audio that they're looking to, and that artwork is the springboard for the imagination that allows them to get drawn into the content. And we didn't want to have anything detracting from that. It's
What
really, I agree with what you were saying. It's almost like everything got packed in to the mobile phone.
Yeah.
And in various areas, we're realizing that we need to perhaps unpack some of that.
Yeah.
And this is our attempt to do that for audio.
People can get details on voxblock.co.uk, and I genuinely think this is going to become more and more popular, actually, because it kind of it almost looks like what I would say is a cassette player. You know, it's quite small in size, where you can then put the blocks in, and then the audio comes out. And I think it's also fun. You've made it fun reading, but listening to audio has become fun again, essentially, Tom.
Well, I certainly hope so. It's that connection with the stories that we think is really important. And by making it a block and not a toy or a card or an app, means that child, they listen to the story, but it also sits on their bookshelves in allowing them to sort of come back to it and to choose and create that emotional connection with the content that they've just been listening to. We feel that that's really important.
You've got to come into the studio next time. Such a pleasure having you on the show, Tom, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. If you'd like more details for this, it's voxblock.co.uk. Just finally, briefly, I did want your thoughts for School Run on this story that you wanted to talk about, James, around this extremist content that's been found on Roblox. You know, many, especially within Australia, are looking at the ways in which there is real concerns of some far-right information being exposed on Roblox to young children.
Yeah, it's quite upsetting, actually. Roblox has always been this kind of this sanctuary of a safe place for teens, but actually you can now look at far-right extremist skins in Roblox. You can look at mosque shootings, quite dark content that's been enabled. I suppose the watchword here is Roblox is a social platform. If you can engage, if you can upload user-generated content, it does not matter how quickly people can regulate it. There are always going to be things that can seep through the cracks. So even in potentially safe, in quote mark, environments, parents need to be vigilant, and they need to be informing and having really grown-up conversations with their children about what they're experiencing. So
that's an important point. People may have just thought of Roblox as a game.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you've just said, a social platform.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Well, I think anything that now there's a socialisation element to all sorts of things.
Sure.
I mean, WhatsApp, you could say, is a messaging service, but it's got social elements to it. So there's lots of that out there, yes.
James, it's always a pleasure having you here. You are literally an encyclopedia of technology and social media news. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Very much look forward to it. If you'd like more details for James, find him, by the way, on X. It's James_Erskine, and on Blue Sky, James Erskine as well. Time now is 4 o'clock. Let's get the news headlines on BBC Radio London with Will Schindler.